Hi, I'm Sarah. You guys, what a day, what a night. Apologies that I'm half a mess. I am channeling Frenchie's energy right now. It was a really long night with him and an active morning. Feeds went down quickly, early for noms, threw me off. So I had to scramble to get ready really, really quick so that we could talk about this because there's so much to talk about. Whew. Hi, you guys. We just need to take a breath first because I feel like Frenchie's energy is like now in me. And I cannot carry that with me because that is a hot mess. You guys, what is happening? The feeds are down for noms. And I think now Frenchie is not the most balanced and stable HOH that we've had. So it's not 100% clear who his noms are. But what I think Alyssa is his current target. And I think she's going on the block next to Sarah Beth or Claire. You guys, what? How did we get here? Oh, thank you so much for the super chat. Yeah, this daily dedication might be aging me quite a bit. We're going to need, it's entertaining to have a hot mess house. I'm here for it. But I need it to calm down just a bit. Like, give me a couple breaks in between, Like, what? How did we get here? Let's back it up a little bit. Let's back it up. So yesterday we talked about how Brent was the original target, right? Frenchie came in here with a plan. He wanted to target bros. We've heard more from him on the feeds about like he was made fun of by bros. Like people were like, your arms are too skinny. These are things Frenchie is saying. Like he obviously has some deep issues against what he calls meatheads. We know he didn't like, the jocks running Big Brother past seasons. He's been vocal about that on the feeds and on Twitter. And so he came in with this like preconceived plan, and then like Brent got to him, and like he now feels like Brent's a good dude, and he like relates to him. And so after that happened, his target turned to Christian. Christian was the next bro dude that he was a little fishy about. Well, Christian played the wild card comp and won it. And Christian won himself safety. Along with that, he chose Xavier. He got to choose one other person for safety. Why he chose Xavier is a little interesting. Hopefully we get a DR to get that insight because haven't heard it yet. But Christian was then off the table for Frenchie. And then all of a sudden, Christian's in the room when Frenchie is forming the Butchers. Yesterday morning, we talked about this yesterday, he'd started forming the Butchers with Whitney and Xavier, right? That started the Butchers. No, throw that out. I think. I don't know, because all of a sudden we had new Butchers with still Xavier, but it was also Derek F, Christian, and Kyland. And okay, so like what? How did Christian get in here? All of a sudden, Frenchie's BFF with Christian. That group leaves eventually. Azah comes in, and Azah is a very like grounded, reasonable person, and she seems to really, at this point, I think things have changed, but at this point she really cared about Frenchie and wanted this to like really work with him. And so she was just like very honestly saying, be careful about Christian. Just, I'm not sure about Christian, be careful about Christian. And when she left, you could see he was like, oh crap. He was like, I think I just got played by Christian. And his wheels started spinning. He started to get really mad at Christian. Then by the end of the night, He's mad at Derek X and Travis. So Derek X became the next target after Christian was off the table. And like, this is why last night was so bonkers, is because, well, first off, Frenchie was eavesdropping. A fun little group formed last night because Frenchie is losing it and spiraling. The rest of the house is like, he's I don't know about him. Frenchie, what is he doing? Like, he changes his plan a lot. At one point, he ran down to the girls and asked for a pawn. He has already promised them all safety. He said he'll never put a woman up on the block. And then he runs down there asking them to be a pawn. They're like, what's happening? People are starting to get a little concerned about him. So, side group with Travis, Derek X, Kyland and Claire and Tiffany, they're talking and they form the firefighters because they said Frenchie's got a match. He's lighting fires left and right, and they're going to put them out. They're the firefighters. That's how that came together. Frenchie was at the door for part of this, eavesdropping. Tiffany could see this. She saw him like kind of walk up. So she like ran to the door, opened the door, knocked Frenchie over. It was very funny. But I do think that Frenchie heard a little bit, or at least was concerned enough about the people in the room that he just then spiraled more. Yes, nominations are happening right now. That is why we are talking. The feeds are down. Yeah, Frenchie got himself real worked up, real worried that he's the next target. He's not safe. These are the words he starts to say. And then there was a conversation on the hammock that was, oh, I forgot. I'm wearing a Joker shirt. I didn't even realize I was wearing a Joker shirt, but it's very appropriate for the captain of the Jokers, whose HOH has become a joke. What? Oh, God, did I say that out loud? I did. Oh. The team with Whitney's team, Whitney, Brent, Hannah, Derek X. They're on the hammock talking together. Now, Derek X has just formed firefighters. Derek X also already had confrontation with Frenchie, and Derek X has been crying. Derek X knows that he's a target at this point. He assumes he's going on the block. Derek X is very worried about his life in this game, and he has said, like, we got to figure out how to get Brent on the block. That's the firefighters talked about. Travis, Derek X, Tiffany, Claire, and Kylan. How do we get Brent as the nominee to save Derek X? Well, Derek X has now exited. He's on the hammock with his team. Brent is a part of this team, talking, hanging. Frenchie comes up. Frenchie approaches the hammock with this team, and he's just spiraling. I'm not stupid. This was my whole plan. I've been planting little seeds left and right, telling this person this thing, telling this person this thing, and they all came back to me. Everything came back to me. I know where everybody is. I know who everyone is working with. I know everything. I'm not dumb. No, I'm not dumb. I know where everything. You think you're coming for me, but you're not. And they're all like, huh? Like faces, like, what's happening right now? And then he like goes in on Derek X, and he's like, oh, I know, buddy. I know all about what you're doing. It all came back to me. I know everything you're with, everyone you're with. I know it all. You think you're coming after me, but just so you know, I know. And Derek X is just like, okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Sure. And he basically is just trying to pacify the situation, but like admits that there's other alliances. Frenchie like kind of storms off. Derek X is like, wait, what are you talking about? There's no way that Frenchie knew about the firefighters. He's just assuming because he walked in on this group. But Derek X thinks that Frenchie knows everything. So Derek X continues to just fall apart. He's already started to fall apart. He's already been crying. He goes back to his team on the hammock and he just reveals it all to Brent and the rest of them. And he's like, yeah, okay, so what happened was, and Brent's like, dude, we're a team. What are you talking about? Like, why would you form an alliance outside of our team? And Derek X is like, I know, I'm so sorry I played this the wrong way. I was thinking of it like Big Brother, like arming himself with an alliance. Brent was thinking this was a team sport and he only cares about this team. So he's coming clean. Meanwhile, now Frenchie's doing the same thing to Travis over on the other side of the backyard. And he's like, I know everything, Travis. And Travis is like, okay, all right. Okay, so Frenchie is unraveled. Derek X has been thrown under the bus. Travis has been outed that he's got other alliances. People know that Frenchie is losing their mind. A lot of people are trying to go to sleep. Kylan gets roped into this because Kylan is he's doing a pretty good job of playing both sides, like playing Frenchie, giving Frenchie information, but also playing this like firefighters group and other people and giving them information. He's definitely doing a floater type rat game. So far it's okay, but it's kind of catching up with him. 100%. This morning, none of these people are targets. Everything. Frenchie comes out of the diary room crying. He got called in for noms. He comes out crying. Travis and Brent both come into the bathroom when Frenchie's in there. And Travis and Brent are like, you know, I think things have gotten out of control, miscommunications. We need to sort of hash things out. They're both like, yeah, we need to do that. Frenchie is like, I would love for you guys to do that in front of me because, you know, I need to know what's going on. They're like, great, let's go up. Xavier is trapped in this situation for some reason. So the four of them go up to the have-not room. Xavier, Travis, Brent, Frenchie. Way too long of a conversation. But ultimately, Travis and Brent come to terms. They talk about how they thought this about one person. Brent was mad because Travis wasn't talking to him. And historically, these are his words, not mine. Brent says, historically, people of the same demographic align, and you weren't talking to me. That's a new one. I haven't heard that one before. So anyway, they hash it out. Frenchie is like talking now with Travis and Brent like they are bros. And he's talking about like how I wanted to go against bros, but like we're all good now. Like we're all good. And Frenchie does a lot of alluding to like, I know who we need to get out, but he won't tell us. He definitely was talking about Christian at one point, talking about how Christian has gotten caught in some lies and telling, you know, different people different information. There was a lot in this group against Christian, but Christian is safe and they can't do anything about it. Also, Brent doesn't like that Christian claimed Alyssa. This comes up in this conversation that at some point, allegedly, this is Brent's story, Christian said, about Alyssa, that's my type. That's the perfect girl for me. That's my type. And Brent was like, it was me and some other guy was there. And he was almost like claiming her, like saying to us, he's claiming her. And Brent's like, that's not how I work. I think the woman should choose. So Brent doesn't like Christian because of that. But they can't do anything about Christian this week. They also talk about Derek X. Yes, Derek X messed up. He got in too many alliances. He said too many things, but he's admitting to it. He's owning up to it. So they come to the conclusion that Derek X is small potatoes right now. He's a small fish to fry, I think is how Frenchie put it. So they don't 100% trust him, but they're not worried about him right now. So he's off the table. We've lost Brent's off the table, Travis is off the table, Derek X is off the table, and Christian's off the table. All bros, you guys, are off the table. Everything Frenchie promised to the majority of the house. Remember, he has promised to just about everyone. He did not keep secrets. That is off the table. So I'm trying to figure out, who are you targeting? What are you talking about, Frenchie? Because he's not saying names. But then Alyssa walks in and she leaves because that's her room. She's a have-not. She walks in, she walks out, and they go, if we can't get Christian, we got to get the person who's closest to him. So now Alyssa's the target because you guys think, and now granted, I understand breaking up showmances, but they literally are not in a showmance. Everyone loves Alyssa, like guy-wise. They all wanted to hook up with her. And she's the target because they can't get Christian, and they think that Christian and Alyssa will eventually be in a showmance. That's where we are. They also mentioned putting Sarah Beth up next to her because they don't feel like these four guys. Again, this is just these four guys who all of a sudden are making decisions with Frenchie. They say they haven't connected with Sarah Beth and they haven't connected with Claire. These are the other two names that are coming up that they're just like, well, so they're like just running down the list of ladies. They literally like, so who are the other girls? Travis said that was going to be his strategy. This is how he made up with Brent, because Brent was like, I assume you're coming for me. Travis was like, no, actually, I never said your name. What I said was I'd put two girls up because that'll help us guys bond. He said that. And then by the time we get to the end of this conversation, they're just going down the list of women of who to put up. They asked Xavier if it would be okay if two people from his team went up because they were talking about Sarah Beth and Alyssa. They're both on Xavier's team. And he was like, I don't love it. But they also agreed that they don't like really know where Claire stands. Okay. What we've learned about Frenchie is that the last person who talks to him does influence the way he thinks. And that's what was so crazy, that this was the group that he's talking to, because Azza would talk sense into him. Tiffany would talk sense into him. Derek F would talk sense into him. Like Xavier is sitting in this group like, what is happening? He doesn't really fit in with these people. He's just like, getting the intel. He went downstairs and was like to Derek F, we got to talk. Like he's going to spill it to the cookout. The cookout is Xavier, Derek F, Azza, Tiffany. They've talked about bringing Hannah in, but I don't think they've brought Hannah in yet. So they will get this information, but then the feeds went down for noms. So I don't think anyone had time to get back into Frenchie's head and like course correct this. The group was Travis, Brent, Frenchie, and Xavier's in the room. He's not like participating a ton, but he's sort of being like, yeah, guys, yeah. You know, he's just like pretending to be supportive here. They're just going down the list of women as if this was how we're going to decide who the noms are. Happening right now. Happening right now. I cannot believe that Frenchie came in, told everyone, going after the bros, not going to put up a minority, not going to put up a woman or a person of color. We are here on day 3, and his target is a woman of color, Alyssa. I don't look. Just don't tell us. Don't tell us you're going to not put up a person of color. Don't tell us you're not going to nominate a woman. Just don't do it. Even if you were like, I don't want to. Cool, great. You know, you do you, make your decisions, but you told the whole house. And so when these people go up, again, if no one can get back, like if Ozza or Tiffany can grab him real quick, maybe the noms will be different. But the feeds went down, so I don't know that they got him. The whole house is going to be like, wait, what just happened? Well, whole house minus Travis and Brent. The rest of the house is going to be like, wait a minute. They already last night were like, because Whitney thinks she's Frenchie's number 2. And I honestly, girl, I thought the same thing. Frenchie was like, us too. We're the start of the butchers. This is it. Then Whitney witnesses him go up with a different group of people, come down with a completely different plan, asking for a pawn. She's like, I don't know if I can trust him. And now the rest of the house is going to be like, I don't know if I can trust him. Yeah, isn't that interesting that they're like, I think he's playing for Twitter. Like, how obvious are you that they're clocking it? It is all over the place. I do enjoy watching a hot mess. I love when people play hard, even if it's incorrect or messy. Look, that's entertaining to us. But it's so messy that I'm starting to be like, oh boy, honey, take a breath. Like, he does a lot of like talking to one person and he runs and talks to another person and then to another person. Like, he doesn't take the time to process anything. Whew. He needs to sit in that HOH room and like think to himself a little bit, I think. I mean, that's just we're all different people. He might not be that type of person. Yeah, she was like, dude, think for yourself. She's such a calming presence. She makes some really good points, but she's not pushy about it. She did get into his head about Christian, but nothing he can do about Christian right now. Christian's safe. I mean, I have to imagine he's on the block next week. Like, I don't know how you don't nominate him next week. He's a liability. You can't have him in your alliance. Shocked. Absolutely shocked. He spills info to everyone, you guys. This was another thing. He really does. He tells everything to everybody. And I think part of it is he likes to brat. He doesn't want people to think he's dumb. That seems to be a theme with him. Like, being a dumb country farmer is like really deep in his soul. So he does a lot of like, I'm not dumb, I know this. And he like reveals information. And he said when Brittany's name came up today, when they were just listing women that they could put up on the block, he said, no, Brittany's good. He's like, Brittany and I like this. They were like, oh, really? He's like, yeah, no. He's like, she's the one that comes up and gives me all the information. You guys think she's doing something else, but she's really with me. I was like, Frenchie, you just told them that Brittany is running information to you. Okay, first off, well, there goes her game. They now have that information, but also they can use that against Frenchie. Oh, we can't get you out. We'll get out Brittany then because she's the one running information to you. Like, oh my gosh, why are you revealing this? He says so much. What I heard he has like a notebook, like a 300-page notebook or something. I forget what it is, but he's got some big notebook he's been keeping track of, like all the seasons he watches. And I'm just like, did he write down information is key? Information is currency. keep your mouth shut. Like never was that written down. Whoa. Poor Brittany. She's just trying to like be in tight with the HOH. She really does. She's like his biggest cheerleader. Oh my God, this is so funny, you guys. Last night, he goes to his team. This is like before he completely spiraled. This was like the beginnings of the spiral. And he goes to his team and he's like, this has all been my master plan. What I did was I told everyone stories and I kept track. So when the story came back to me, I know who was revealing it to who. I knew what I was doing this whole time. You guys think I'm running around and I look scared, like I don't know what's going on, but I know. My whole master plan, and now I know. This was his revisionist history last night. This is what he was telling to his story. Derek F., I posted a picture on Twitter last night because Derek F. was like, oh, I have to listen to another one of these speeches. But he was like, this was my big plan. I know exactly. He's like, if you ever see my face and you think that I'm like stressed and don't know what's going on, it's just me processing. It's just me going back over who did I tell that to? That's all it is. So don't worry about me. That's all it is. When he finally wraps up this sermon that he was doing, Brittany goes, first, genius on your part. First, I just have to say that, genius. Then she goes on with her points, and I was like, oh, sweet Brittany. She is scooped up by Frenchie. She's living in Frenchie's world. It's not going to turn out good for you because Frenchie's going down with the ship. Not sure he's going to be able to save it this time. Yeah. Did he write that down in his book? Don't have an alliance with 16 people. Look, this has literally, like he's very Devin. This has already happened. We know he watched 16. Well, we thought he watched 16. He misremembers 16. So maybe he misremembers how Devin played because I think he just wrote down Devin's gameplay in his book. Whew. I'm pretty sure they're safe. Mm-hmm. Well, look, we all got people on our teams that we just didn't really want to draft. That's how drafts work. So it happens. At the end of the day, it's going to be checkmate. I was like, no, he did not just actually move the chess piece. He did it, guys. He stood up and he said, at the end of the day, it's going to be checkmate. It's like performance art. Frenchie's putting on a show. It's performance art. It's a lot. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. When the feeds went down for noms like this early, I was like, I'm not ready. I got to eat. I've barely slept. Frenchie's got me all wound up. Well, he did get you some points. You know, you got HOH points. He got points for winning the captain. All the captains got a point. So look, you got some points out of Frenchie. Yeah. He thinks he is. I know. Okay, so feeds. I'm keeping an eye on the feeds, you guys. As soon as they come back, I'll let you know, and we'll wrap up. But I can't even imagine what's going to happen when the feeds come back because I'm prepared for 2 females to be up on the block, and 90% of the house to just be like, "Well, Frenchie's a big fat liar. Can't trust anything Frenchie says." Brent's an interesting cat. Brent is an interesting cat because he talked to nobody the first night. But he's very confident, and he feels like he's in with everyone individually. That he says things like, I have nothing to worry about. I'm fine. So I think his genuine connection when he went up to Frenchie's HOH room and told him and talked to him about his dad's suicide, I don't think he was doing that to save himself, because Brent has just been saying such confident things of like, I'm fine, everything's good, I'm safe. I think he was just connecting with Frenchie, just making a bond, which is good long game. But I find that fascinating that he didn't go up there to save his butt. He thought he was good to go. He's also the only one that's really, really playing a team sport. Like, everyone's considering their teams, but they're making their own alliances. Doesn't matter teams. You know, there's some talk about like, what if our team was with your team? Been a lot of talk about that. But Brent's the only one who like really says, my team, me and my team. Like, he just automatically assumed they were an alliance, basically. Tom, are you as exhausted as I am? I mean, it's a car crash into a train falling off a freeway overpass, all on fire. It is a wreck like I have never seen. Woo! Yeah, they don't get along. DX doesn't care for her. She doesn't care for him. But Brent's going to keep them together as a team. Apparently Brent, I mean, we knew Brent was a recruit. So, you know, he gets told he's put on a team. He thinks it's a team sport. So much fire. All the fire. So much fire. There's no emergency service. Emergency service is like, we're on lunch break. Can't get there quite yet. Frenchie's like, great, I'll throw a few more automobiles here. Let's keep it going. Add to the fire. It does. It feels like, I mean, it's awesome that we get, could you imagine if we didn't have feeds? It's awesome that we get to see this train wreck. We usually have to catch up and try to like piece together like, wait, why does everyone think Frenchie's a hot mess? What happened? Well, now we know. We saw it all go down. Yeah, it'll be really, really interesting to see like what groups start to form to protect which noms. You know, we definitely have some solid little groups here. But like, who's really willing to, you know, put their neck out to who? Yes, happy Friday. Is it Friday? I thought yesterday was Friday all day. So we finally made it to Friday. It might. It might. If we start out this messy, it just might. Well, we usually don't have the feed, so we don't always know. We find out later that Jackson hooked up with two girls. Like, we just wouldn't know because we didn't get the feeds. Okay, so like I said earlier, noms are down, and right before the feeds went down, he mentioned that Alyssa is a target and considering Sarah Beth and Claire as the other noms. So those are my best guesses. But again, if Tiffany or Azah could have gotten into his ear. Is David here? Wait, I'm missing. Oh, yay! If Azah or Tiffany could have gotten in his ear, that could have changed. But noms came up so early. I don't know. Hi, David. Thank you. Thank you so much. DX is not at all the target. No. You're so far behind. DX was the target last night, but so much has happened since. We moved from Derek to Travis to now Alyssa. And Travis is in with Frenchie. I mean, beyond bonkers. Hi, Evan. Thank you so much for the super chat. Yes, you are welcome. Ooh, Miranda, thank you. Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you. Because really, I feel like Frenchie. I feel like a hot mess. So appreciate the compliments. I'm just like dragging myself out of bed to talk to you guys about all this because it's so much. Yes, short recap of what we have talked about so far is that Target went from Brent to Christian to Derek X to Travis, and now Travis is in with Frenchie, Brent is in with Frenchie, and they've decided to target Alyssa because they can't get Christian out, and they think that Alyssa and Christian will someday become a showmance. So that's what they want to do, and they want to put up another female next to her. How did we get here? Here we are. He's out next week. I cannot see him lasting past next week. Especially, I mean, if he got, yeah, that guy that was like, I want the meathead bros out, is now aligned with all the bros. That guy. That's where we are. I don't think he'll self-evict. He thinks he's doing a great job. Frenchie, I mean, he's stressed, but like he thinks he's doing the thing he's supposed to do. And he keeps saying he's doing it for his family. So, I mean, hey, if he wins that wild card, he also thinks he'll be like a comp beast. He's mentioned. He said today, if anyone comes for him, they should know that they have to backdoor him because what? He didn't finish the sentence. Because what? You're a comp beast? Yeah. Noms should be coming back fairly soon. Usually the feeds are down for about an hour for noms, but this is their first nomination ceremony, so it'll probably go a little bit longer. But I'd say within the next half hour, they'll be back up and we'll have noms. And if those are his noms, he's going to have a lot of people upset with him. The names that they threw out were Claire and Sarah Beth as ladies that they haven't really bonded with and don't really know where they stand. So those are my best guesses. Again, this is bonkers that he would put these people up, but why was he making these decisions with Travis and Brent? Those were the last people he talked to before noms, the feeds went down for noms. These are two people you have not been aligned with for the first 2 days. You actually were targeting them. Yet those are the people he spoke with last. And that's where his head was at. If he was talking to Azza and Tiffany and Whitney, these are the people that he's been talking to and aligned with from the get-go. Even Brittany. If he had been talking to them, I have to imagine the noms would have been different, but he's also run through all of his targets. Christian is safe. He can't be nominated. But he's now bonded with Brent. He's now bonded with Travis, promised them safety. He's promised so many people safety. No. Straight is not a word we would use for the way that he is thinking. Yeah. She has connected with some of the girls. But Sarah Beth and Claire both are kind of playing like a slow back game, like trying not to do too much too soon. So they've been getting along with people and bonding. There's a lot of nerdy talk on the feeds, you guys. I love it. A lot of nerdy talk. So there are plenty of people to bond with in that regard, but yeah, they're not besties with Frenchie, and they're not besties with Travis, and they're not besties with Brent. And apparently these are the people making our decisions right now. But so Sarah Beth has made some bonds. She will be safe. If she can survive this week, she does have people to keep her safe in the long run. Yeah, if he is playing for Twitter, this isn't what we wanted. Not sure what he thought we wanted, but this wasn't it. Love them. So fun. Cookout is Azza, Tiffany, Derek F, Xavier. And again, they've talked about bringing in Hannah, but they have not brought her in yet. Because look, here's what's really sad is that when you're someone who you felt like you were being picked on by the meatheads, and so you didn't like the meatheads, but then the meatheads acted like they want to be friends with you, deep down you want to be friends with the meatheads. That's what's really, really sad. Deep down, he hadn't dealt with his high school trauma, and he just wants to be friends with the meatheads. Because guess what? You're the HOH, and they're trying to save their game. They don't really want to be best friends with you, or we don't even know. You're just the HOH. So, of course, they're like, dude, I got you. No. Let's work together. And Frenchie ate it up, and he was like, oh, we can be friends? Yes. I wish he had. First off, it went on too long. I wish someone would have broken it up. But yes, Derek F and Xavier needed to talk. Xavier went straight to Derek F and he was like, we got to talk. And thank you, Kyland. Yes, thank you. Like quickly, the Cookout would have known what was going on, and they could have probably done some damage control and worked on I'm looking at the feeds. They're not back. Are they? I am not seeing the feeds back. Refreshing. My feeds are not back. Are they back for you guys? Let me go to Twitter. Oh, I don't know why my feeds are delayed, but Frenchie has nominated. Wait, I lost it. Oh, no. See, now I got a fake tweet. I was just reading a fake tweet. I got feeds. Yeah, I fell for that fake update too. Don't fall for the fake update. Tricks us all. I see that on Twitter all the time when people like retweet a fake update, and I'm like, double check that handle, guys. That's not real. Not real. Whew. Okay. Well, I'm exhausted. How about you guys? At least I'm happy that the noms are happening because I need people to not be running to Frenchie. Frenchie, you're done. You're done for. I don't need any more conversations with you. Let's have our noms and let's have our noms and let's have everybody else start talking about who they want to save, who they want to vote for. Like those are the conversations I need right now. And no more conversations trying to convince the HOH of anything. I'm done with that. At least just like a second. I just need a break. Yeah, I thought Frenchie was Feeds Gold for like, how long has it been? 24 hours. And now I'm tired. So just give me a break so that I can rest up a little bit. And then we'll be back to laughing about the dumpster fire that is Frenchie's game. Feeds were down so long yesterday for that wild card competition. But this is just noms. I don't think there's any other weird special things. So yes, I'm not going to take a nap, but yeah, Sunday's episode will have 1% of what we just went through. There's no way they can edit all of this craziness. It's just going to jump from like Brent's the target to Alyssa being the target. Like it's going to be the weirdest edit. French toast, y'all. His new thing. Love it. All right. It's not everyone. Alyssa's not in it and Hannah's not in it. They're talking about bringing them in, but like, I think it was Azza that was like, but I don't want them to know the name. Like they're just protecting like peripherally Hannah and Alyssa, which is about to see that go into action. Alrighty. That's it for today. Hot mess, French toast. Can't wait to see how the house deals with Frenchie being a big fat liar, women on the block, and who are they going to protect? Yeah, again, Alyssa is the target only because they think she's going to be in a showmance. Granted, I thought she was going to be in a showmance too. Is that a reason to target someone? That they might be in a showmance? I don't know. I don't know about that, but look, he's HOH. He gets to make all the messy choices that he wants. Woo. Okay, so that's where we are now. Thank you for joining me. On Monday, I'll be back Monday with David. We will be recapping Sunday's episode, and we will also talk about all the live feed updates from the weekend. We'll have veto spoilers by then. That'll be on Monday. And then back at it all next week, you guys. Hope you are subbed. Please like this video. Help out the channel. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yep. David and I have to practice that spoiler song for Monday. Gonna get out that rusty, dusty spoiler song. Yay. Thank you. All right, you guys, enjoy the rest of your day and your weekend, and I will see you next time. Bye.